Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys, and holding these guys to a standard. Remember, it's very important that we hold the standard. And in this video, we're going to hold Nikola Jokic to the same standard that a lot of these people don't want to hold Nikola Jokic to. You know, and shout out to my man Scap Attack, who completely goes off the rails with the Nikola Jokic love. This guy continues to do videos on Nikola Jokic talking about, oh, he's shutting the haters down. No, he's not. What is he doing, Scap? He ain't doing a damn thing out there. And we're going to talk about Nikola Jokic, how he ducked the smoke of the Boston Celtics last night. Where was Nikola Jokic playing against the Celtics? He wasn't there last night. Left his team hanging, man, in Denver, and they lose to the Celtics. And Nikola Jokic, I believe he's missed his fifth game this season. That was his fourth or fifth game that he's missed this season. And he was out with an illness. An illness. See what I'm saying, guys? I told you. This is the new excuse. This is the new injury. It's an illness. These guys are out for. And we're going to talk about this in his video, man. Because Nikola Jokic, man, he's a clown for ducking out in that Boston Celtics game, man. I don't respect this stuff, man. I know Scott won't do a video on that, though. And I'm going to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states, man, has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, I am truly humbled by all the support, man. Thank you very much, everybody in the membership. All the true basketball fans, we're standing up now. We're standing up, man. We must hold the standard and set the record straight here, man. It's an absolute joke what these guys are doing. And they're being celebrated, man. No, we won't allow this. I won't allow this. We're going to continue to set the record straight, guys. It's about consistency on this channel. If you guys haven't noticed that, man. We hold the standard to all these guys. Everyone is going to get the same energy from me. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel, guys. Much respect to all you guys out there, man. Thank you very much, man. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, you listen, man. If you guys know me and you guys come onto the Sunday shows, then you know that me and Scap are constantly going back and forth with this Nikola Jokic nonsense. Because Scap goes off the rails with Nikola Jokic. He won't hold him to the same standard, man. He won't. He always makes excuses for Nikola Jokic, man. Oh, Nikola Jokic ain't got no help. Nikola Jokic's got to do everything on the court. It's an absolute laughingstock. He loves to talk about Nikola Jokic's stats, but then when you say those stats are not having an impact on the game because his team was in the 5th seed or the 6th seed, or once again, they haven't won a championship in a couple of years, but he won't say anything about this. Right? He'll be like, oh, Nikola Jokic is averaging XYZ. Nikola Jokic has never led the league in one statistic, guys. Never led the league in anything. And once again, this year, he's not leading the league in anything. Yes, he's putting up some insane numbers in an era that we know numbers are inflated. So Scap loves to celebrate Nikola Jokic's numbers, but the numbers we all know don't matter. Who cares about these numbers? Once again, I always tell you guys, who is Nikola Jokic going against? Who is his competition in the NBA at the center position? Can anyone name these guys? Who are they? Joel Embiid? Bam Adebayo? Brook Lopez? Karl Anthony Towns? I mean, who are the guys? Who are the big-name big men? There are nobody. Derek Lively? Who are these guys? Rudy Gobert? I'm trying to figure out who are the elite competition at the center position that's supposed to be making Nikola Jokic earn it out there. I don't know, and that's what I'm always saying. He ain't earning a damn thing out there. Once again, the Nuggets won a championship back in 2023. Who did they beat to win that championship? Does anybody know? They beat literally nobody. And I challenged Scap on that, and he didn't want to talk about this stuff. They have not beat a single 50-win team on the road to that championship. And when we talk about Nikola Jokic, and I'm telling you guys right now, historically, I do not put him up there with these guys historically. And I tell you guys, he's not going against anybody. These are the facts, man. They haven't beat anyone to win that championship. If we're going to say this era's weak, then we have to keep that same energy for all of these guys. Nikola Jokic is, like I told you guys, the smartest kid with Down syndrome, man. He's out there dominating a weak era statistically. No one's impressed, though. I'm not impressed. And it's not to tear down Nikola Jokic. But Nikola Jokic is part of the problem. Because once again, he's chasing stats out there, and they'll celebrate his stats. So they'll celebrate his stats, and then when the team's losing or they're not winning in the postseason, they like to blame Jamal Murray, or blame Michael Porter Jr., or blame Aaron Gordon. That doesn't make any sense. The star player is supposed to get all the blame. He's supposed to take the responsibility. Remember, they blew that lead last year in the postseason. They lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Who are the Minnesota Timberwolves? They're nobodies. They lost to Minnesota. Anthony Edwards beat Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets, and they blew that game. But they'll blame everybody else on the sun, not Nikola Jokic. So you have a 3-time MVP. It's no responsibility, no blame. We're blaming other guys. We're blaming his lack of help. And what is my problem with this? My problem is, once again, Scap likes to bring up the help of other all-time great players. And this is where he gets exposed as not keeping it about the historical perspective. Oh, I'm not talking historical, Rob. I'm not talking... When you mention Larry Bird, when you mention Magic Johnson, when you mention Michael Jordan or some of the other guys and the help that they had, you're bringing up historical context. You're talking historical, but you're not giving the context or the perspective. So you'll say, oh, Larry Bird played with all these great players, or Magic Johnson played with all these great players. And you'll point to other players in NBA's history that had quote-unquote help. But you won't point to the competition they were going against. So he acts as if Larry Bird had all this great talent around him, and he's playing in this weak era of NBA. So all the championships that Larry Bird had were easy because he had so much help. That's how he makes it seem when he says that. But in reality, Larry Bird had Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish and Bill Walton and Cedric Maxwell, and he had Dennis Johnson, and he had Danny Ainge. Right? You had these different players in the team, but it wasn't like Larry Bird had all this help and he was going against nobodies. He needed that help to go against the teams that he was going against. He didn't have an advantage over the Los Angeles Lakers because of the talent he had around him. It was an even matchup. That's what made the finals so great in the 80s. You had these top-heavy teams, but they were going against each other. It wasn't as if you had these top-heavy teams and there was no competition in the league. You had Dr. J Sixers going against Larry Bird Celtics, right? You had the Pistons going against Larry Bird, right? Going against Dominique Wilkins, going against a young Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, going against Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson, going against some of these stout teams. So the competition was there. You know, when people say, oh, Magic Johnson didn't play anybody in the Western Conference, really, and yes, that may be true. The Western Conference was not as stout as the Eastern Conference in the 80s. I will definitely absolutely agree to that, and I've talked about that before. But the one thing that you can't say is that Magic Johnson had easy championships because every one of those finals, he's playing against some of the legendary teams. Legendary, not just great teams for his era. These are some of the most legendary teams of all time. The 89 Pistons, right? The Celtics of the 80s. The Sixers of the 80s. Like I said, some of the greatest teams of all time. You're battling against these guys, man. So you earn those championships. You never had an advantage in the finals. You had great teams, great players, individual players on great teams going against each other. And what I highlight for Scap all the time is how much help does Nikola Jokic need to beat the 2023 Miami Heat with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. You don't need a lot of help. What you had was enough. That's why you beat them. And your teammates played. Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., some of these other guys, what was it, Bruce Brown, I think his name was. Some of these other guys, they stepped up. They contributed. They helped Nikola Jokic. He wasn't out there by himself, but Scap will point to, oh, he led the playoffs in points, rebounds, and assists. Yeah, but he didn't lead anything in per game. Nothing in per game in the postseason. So he put some numbers up great, but his teammates were there. And once again, who did he play against? You played against the Kevin Durant Phoenix Suns, which we all know are an absolute joke. They've been exposed more and more every single season. They beat who? The Anthony Edwards Minnesota Timberwolves? Absolute joke. You beat nobody. And then they beat the Lakers. The LA Lakers in the Western Conference Finals? It's an absolute joke, man. The Lakers that were only there because they were being carried by the referees. What are we talking about here? He calls LeBron James a fraud king, blah, 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 blah. But then you try to promote the Nuggets beating the Lakers? Oh, he beat LeBron James and the Lakers. That's nothing. That's nobody. And then you beat the Jimmy Butler Miami Heat? They're nobody. They're not formidable. I'm not recognizing them. But last night, more importantly, Nikola Jokic ducks out on the Boston Celtics. So you're part of the problem, Nikola Jokic. You're out there putting up all these stats, right? But then they blame his teammates aren't good enough. But meanwhile, Nikola Jokic is the one that's dominating the basketball. He has help. These guys play well. They're there. They do what they got to do. Yes, some of these guys have injury issues, and they've been inconsistent due to the injuries. Aaron Gordon's out right now. But last night, the Boston Celtics played the Denver Nuggets. It's supposed to be a matchup between two premier teams, Jason Tatum versus Nikola Jokic, but Nikola Jokic ain't there. And he's out with an illness. An illness? I'm telling you guys right now, illness, the quote-unquote illness is a new injury now. That's a new injury. All these guys are out with illness. Nikola Jokic out with illness. Giannis out with illness. Kyrie Irving out with an illness. Karl-Anthony Towns out with illness. Everyone's out with an illness now. What illness is going around? Is there some kind of disease that we don't know about? Is this COVID coming back now in a different form? What illness are guys always out for? These are supposed to be professional athletes. These guys are supposed to be tougher than us. They're supposed to be in better shape than the regular people. They should have better immune systems. They should be able to deal with more. You're getting paid all this damn money to show up, and you guys are missing games with nonsense. Remember, Nikola Jokic missed like 3 games. He just disappeared. He just took some personal time off. And I'm not saying guys don't have to deal with personal issues, man. Take care of your personal issues. But come on, man. Come on. You're out with an illness against the Celtics. The Denver Nuggets hadn't played since Saturday, guys. They hadn't played since Saturday. They played the Spurs on a back-to-back, right? They played the Spurs Friday night, then they played them Saturday in a back-to-back. They haven't played since Saturday. And Nikola Jokic out with an illness. So you had all day Sunday, all day Monday, and you're basically all day Tuesday to recover, but you couldn't play because you're out with an illness. An illness? Ducking the Boston Celtics, guys. Where was he against one of the better teams? Where was he? These guys got to protect their stats. You don't want to play against the Boston Celtics, and maybe they'll hurt your averages. You see what I'm saying, guys? This is what these guys do. That's why these numbers, their averages, it don't mean nothing. If you're only playing 70 games, 75 games, and you're ducking out against certain games or certain teams during those games that you're missing, then that's going to change your stats. Once again, it's harder to average a certain amount of points, rebounds, and assists if you're playing 80, 82 games and you're playing against all the tough teams, as opposed to playing 72, 75 games maybe, and ducking out on some of the tough opponents that might hurt your averages. So you duck out, you're not being a true competitor, Nikola Jokic. Where were you last night for your team? So the Denver Nuggets lose a game, and then what will someone like Scap say? He'll say, oh, look, the Nuggets can't win without, Nikola Jokic. That's how he'll promote this. But meanwhile, they're going against one of the elite teams in the NBA. I thought that he said that Celtics are the best team in the NBA. So you're going against one of the best teams in the NBA, but you're supposed to beat that team without your best player. It don't make any sense. Nikola Jokic is so great that his team is supposed to win without him. I don't get it. Which one is it, man? Like, I don't get, these guys want these guys to have all this help and to never blame the help. You can never blame the player. Just blame their help. They don't have enough help. You don't need any help in this weak era. There are no great teams. There are good teams, but there are no great teams. Once again, there are no historically great teams in the NBA right now, guys. These are the facts, guys. So Nikola Jokic doesn't need all his help to beat these guys or to play in this era of NBA. He ain't going against legit centers. He ain't going against Brad Daugherty, Robert Parrish, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, Shaquille O'Neal, Rick Smith, Ronnie Cycli. He ain't going against Mark Eaton or any of these other guys in an era with legit centers. But they want to promote this dude about everything he does, all his stats, always getting promoted. It's an absolute joke, man. And you ducked out last night. I don't respect that. Where were you last night to play? Scap, do a video on Nikola Jokic out with an illness. Like I said, I believe he missed his 4th or 5th game this season, guys. So he's on pace to miss, 10, 11, 12 games this year for no reason, no injuries, an illness. You guys know this is embarrassing, man. This is why the game's not popular. This is why the game's going downhill. How many people turned on the game last night thinking Nikola Jokic was going to be there against the Boston Celtics? Like I said, 2 premier teams going at it, and he doesn't show up in the game. He's not there. So once again, this is embarrassing for the league. Your premier guys are missing games for no reason, for illnesses. That's not an excuse. What's the illness? I want to know what the illness is these guys are dealing with. They have the flu, a stomach bug, they have diarrhea. What is it? You haven't played since Saturday. And you missed out on the game last night, ducking the smoke. Now, we'll see what happens tonight, because tonight the Nuggets are supposed to play. I believe they play tonight again. So let's see if Nikola Jokic plays tonight. If he plays tonight, then you know he's ducking the smoke. You know he was ducking Boston. And if he doesn't play tonight, then once again, you're load managing. Where are you out with an illness? Multiple days now. He's supposed to be one of the premier guys. He's supposed to be a tough guy. But you're out. Once again, just missing games to miss games. And this is why the league suffers. So people tuning for the game last night to see the Celtics versus the Nuggets. We're going to see my man Nikola Jokic go out there against Jason Tatum, a very quality team. But no, he's not out there to do that. Right? Luka Doncic is out. Kyrie Irving's out. Nikola Jokic out. This guy's out. That guy's out. All over the NBA, guys. Kevin Durant missing games. Steph Curry missing games. Kawhi Leonard missing games. Joel Embiid missing games. Giannis missing games. Everyone's missing games. Jimmy Butler's out of here now. We don't know what the hell's going with these guys. Come on, man. JJ, we're going to blame us, though. But it's our fault that Nikola Jokic didn't play last night against the Celtics. So all the people that went to watch that game, showed up at the game or turned the game on, that's what I'm saying, you guys. You turn the game on, you never know who's going to be there. Never know who's going to be there. So once again, it's not a knock on Nikola Jokic, man. He's an all-time great player for this era, man. But historically, I'm not putting people talk about, oh, Nikola Jokic is going to be top 10 player. No, he's not. Nowhere close to a top 10 player, man. Nowhere close to that. His lack of overall defense, Once again, man, you're playing in the weakest era in NBA's history. If he's that great, as Scab promotes him as literally the best player since Kobe Bryant, if he's that great, then how come you can't win championships? You keep blaming the teammates. If he's that great, he should be able to carry these guys. So when you bring up Michael Jordan didn't win until he got Scottie Pippen, I told Scab, no, Michael Jordan didn't win until he got Scottie Pippen because he was going against legendary teams. He wasn't going against the Kevin Durant Suns. He wasn't going against the Anthony Edwards Timberwolves. He wasn't going against the Jimmy Butler Heat. He was going against legit teams, man. Legit teams, all-time great legendary teams. That's why he needed help. If Michael Jordan played in this weak era, if a lot of those great players played in this weak era, a lot of those guys would have championships, guys. Karl Malone, John Stockton have a championship in this weak era. Patrick Ewing, the Knicks, have a championship in this weak era. Charles Barkley and the Suns, championship in this weak era. Gary Payton and the Superstars have a championship in this weak era, man. These are the facts. And that's what I want to highlight. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.